You are listening to the Cigar Noise Boys. And in the afterbirth on the quiet earth, let the stains remind you, you thought you made a man, you better think again before my role defines you.
Oh yeah, who knows? Next.
Yeah. Is that OMC? How bizarre?
Nope.
I was gonna say another Tyler's cheating.
Audio Slave, Show Me How to Live.
Mm.
I almost saved that for October because I had no clue until I looked it up today. It's about Frankenstein, the novel.
Now, that's Mary Shelley, right?
Classic, yeah. She was I think a teenager when she wrote that.
Fuck. Okay. Audio Slave. That was a super group, right? Chris Cornell and other people.
He was the headliner, yeah.
All right. I'm going to introduce our guest here. We got Tyler. I'm not going to say his last name. How do you say
W.
your last name? Tyler W.
Tyler W. Yes.
He is he works for CLE, Arroya Asylum. It's funny, before I even knew him, I knew him from Anna Saka now, from Noxa.
Congratulations for her. Sounds cool, dude.
Yeah. She asked me if I knew you, and I'm like, why? Because we got the same first name. So when we were down in Nicaragua, she talked about you a lot. She said that she played a prank on you that you impregnated.
Oh man, yeah.
We can edit that out. Yeah, okay.
No, we can. I'm not gonna say whom, but yes, I was. You know who's Christian was on that prank too. Everybody was on that prank. So
that's not a good prank.
No, but it was cool.
But Tyler travels quite a bit from Esteli to Honduras, right?
Yeah, I haven't been to Nicaragua in a minute, man. It's really complicated now. But I was in Honduras like a month ago. I drive to Dan Lee from Tegucigalpa, because I mean this time like I had to go and work on some Illuminati stuff. But no, man, I just drive, man. I rented a car with no plates, which was interesting. But no, I mean, listen, everybody hates on Honduras, right? Oh man, Honduras is. They look on like, I don't know, National Geographic, and it's like the world's most dangerous prisons in Danley, which I'm sure it is. It's on the highway. It's called, I forget the name. I passed by it a million times. But in reality, man, like Danley is kind of like Esteli in the sense that there's really not a whole lot to do besides cigars. I mean, I think Esteli for sure has more hotels and all that, but they're both cigar cities. They're both tobacco cities. And I mean, that's just the industry that's forged those two cities for a very long time.
I've actually been to Honduras. I was at the Arroya compound.
Real quick, the I is before the R.
EIROA. Yes.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be. Well, I don't know. You tell us. It's not Arroya, right? It's Eiroa.
Eiroa.
Yeah.
It's like tomato, potato.
Okay. Well, that's
Lugione.
Yeah, we were talking about that before.
People are like, "Oh, it's Eiroa." I'm like, "There's no only one R." But hey, man, whatever.
Bro,
I just wanted to give Tyler some crap. Viso, Tyler.
Yeah. Right off the bat like that, bro. Yeah, so I saw Christian's old clubhouse he's got there. Yeah, he's got like a tree house, right?
Yeah, right. That like it's like in the middle of the hill going down to the gate.
Yeah, dude, that was a good factory tour. Who still hurt his back, so we didn't see him.
So you went with Jay? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then Jerry, yeah, and then I met Julio for the first time, and I think I've told the story 100 times. I was about 160 pounds heavier, and I got into a vehicle with him, and he called somebody over to sit opposite of me so I wouldn't tip the little SUV over the little.
You're in the Geo Tracker. You're in Don Julio's Geo Tracker.
Yeah, dude, he's like I can get one person in here, and my fat ass ran over there. you know, it was either ride with him or riding in the back of a truck with 80 other guys, and it was hot as fuck.
Gray Chevy, yeah.
That's the perfect factory tour. Like, even like, it's a perfect first time factory tour. It's a perfect if it's your fifth factory tour. It's laid back. It's not like the Perdomo one where you feel like you should be getting paid. Like you should be on the payroll.
I hear the Perdomo ones like very like you have 30 minutes to eat and that and this and like it's very strict. Yeah. But I mean, we'll talk about that later. But I mean, it has its own merits. But ours is like, you know, about learning too, but it's not as like regimented as the Perdomo one.
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about your job there and how you got there, and you kind of like me, you moved down there. Well, we're talking Miami. You live in Miami full time, right? Miami.
Yeah, I do.
And so let's talk about your job and how you got there and how you got to know Christian and everybody and Tom.
Oh, so it's funny. I met Christian. So I worked for a chain of stores called Emerson's. When was this? 2011. I needed to pay some fraternity dues. I kind of smoked cigars, and I got hired. There's some guy named Jazz Broom who hired me. I think he's like the VP of 724, Small World. But anyways.
Wait. What fraternity?
Phi Kappa Tau, it's a small one. We're not Pike, you know. Tom Lazuka's a Pike, but you can look at people like a Pike.
Yep, I get it.
You look at Tom, you know he's a Pike.
But I would understand.
I look at Dom, you know he's a power bottom.
The heck?
You just know. All right, go on.
Anyway, so I met Christian at a dinner, actually. He was pitching the product. This was 2012. And this business is like really incestuous, right? Like, and what I mean by that is like General and Altus, probably because they're legally required to, because they're publicly traded, they have to post jobs, even though they probably know who's in mind to get hired, right? All these other companies, I know Skip, when there's like a job opening like every century, you post something, their turnover is very low. But the guy who had the area, he kind of told me one day when I was at the store, hey man, you know, I'm leaving. The guy is now in California rolling like, it's pretty cool, like a cannabis blunt with a long leaf tobacco wrapper. And you know what? I just kind of got interviewed. I had to go to Washington, D.C., which is like a 4-hour drive. And I'm pretty sure Christian hired me because I wore a suit and I could get my own credit card.
Nice.
And let's see, this was 2013. IPCPR 2014. I really listen, I started in sales. I think everybody should learn how to sell. I think that's really important. But I had my first trade show. I probably sold like $20. And I'm driving on the highway and Lazuka calls me saying, no, dude, your numbers suck, whatever. And dude, I already knew I was going to get canned, pretty sure. And the next day, I was already thinking about in the hotel room, like, how am I going to get my job back? And the next day I get a phone call. I pull over. I'm like, no, dude, he's going to fire me. And, you know, somebody had left the office. So they're like, hey, dude, you know, you want to move down to Miami? I'm like, yeah, let me call my parents. In reality, I'm like, dude, nobody in my family's ever been fired before. And so I wasn't going to be that guy. And I just told my parents, they were away traveling in Illinois, hey, I'm moving to Miami. And long story short, you know, I asked Christian, I'm like, hey, dude, so would you have really fired me? Let's just say you wouldn't make it to the sales meeting. And so, you know, I started in customer service, which is interesting. And there's no central planning going on, right? Like all the planning took place at the factory. And I played around with the private label program, which I still run, by the way. And somehow I just ended up taking over to the supply chain planning side, which is, it's the best, worst job, right? Like it's the best job when there are cigars, but now there are no cigars. And so now it is, I mean, I sit next to Christian, so it's the best and worst job. In fact, you probably see these gray hairs.
Yeah.
It's like a tree, right? The tree gets more rings, the more, you know, how the older it is. I've been with Christian now for 8 years. Wow. So I'm gonna have those rings, those gray hairs, but it's been a learning experience. And dude, I moved down to Miami with like, no joke, with all the things like a 24-year-old Tyler owned, which was a Honda CRV, some clothes. And I just went to IKEA. Dude, I found it was I found a place that was $500 a month. But get a load of this, like in Miami.
Nice.
If you swipe your credit card in Nicaragua and nothing happens, you swipe it on the moon and nothing happens. But you swipe it in Miami for like 5 cents. It's like, double, triple alert, secret probation. And so get a load of this. So I moved to Miami. I meet this nice landlady. And like in Virginia, if you got a pulse and like 500 credit score, bro, you get the key for like $99 plus first month. Dude, in Miami, it's first, last, a security deposit. So I literally spent my last $1,500 to like move into this place. It was scary, man. But I've been doing it. I've been in Miami now for 7 years, and I still do sales to this day. I think everybody should learn how to sell, including Tyler. Listen, selling.
I worked in a shop. I mean, it's different, yeah.
Wholesale, dude,
it's totally different.
If you know how to sell, it could be ideas, whatever. You don't have to be the cigar sales guy, but it's an important skill because there are plenty of people, man, that they don't know how to sell anything, whether it's yourself, ideas, cigars. And that really helps. I'm glad I had the experience, and I'm a sales practitioner to this day. In fact, I just got back from Kansas, and I got back from Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival, which is actually pretty badass. Recommend that you go if you can next year. But that's my story, man. So I had to learn. I mean, I kind of learned Spanish when I was in high school. I had this. Not now. It's hot when I was 17. She's pretty good looking. So I'm not trying to be Epstein tier, or whatever. But I had to learn Spanish because I was dating this Venezuelan chick, and then I forgot my Spanish when I went to college because I went to a very vanilla part of town, and I come to Miami, and dude, this is my Spanish, the de facto language in Miami. And in Esteli, a lot of people speak Spanish. Dude, I hope so. In English, we're doing Dan Lee, you're hard pressed. There's people like that General Cigar, they speak English very well, but most companies, the level of English is very basic. There are no Ana Jose's in Dan Lee. But no, I met Gustavo Cura. I went to NAXA for the first time in 2016, which was a complete surprise because Christian was like, yo, dude, we're going to work on Chile Prieto. And then we go to NAXA.
Great cigar.
And we go and meet Raul Disla. And this is when Omar Ortez was still the manager. And so I meet with Omar Ortez, Raul Disla was there, Gustavo Cura. And Christian's like, hey, man, you have that forecast? And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And I was in the balcony of the Hex, at 3 a.m. working on the forecast. And here I am now. That is my child. But that's it, man. It's been 8 years of Christian, which is not for the faint of heart, but dude, CLE University, man. It's a hell of an adventure.
Well, it's real quick. Sorry, Dom. First of all, I want to acknowledge your flex of your condo. You've been walking around showing it off. It's beautiful. Great job. Nice.
Let's call it that. Dude, if you want to hear more old, I'm sure there are more. Geez, I bet people don't hear me. Dude, there are more old people bitching on that conference call than Domino Park on Coyote, dude. Anyways, go on.
And then secondly, the Cro-Magnon is based off Arroyo. I'm saying it wrong again. Blend. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah. No idea. So Skip was buying a whole bunch of, kind of like the Caldwell Lost and Found. He was doing that, but for his shop, and he found something, with a broadleaf wrapper, and it was, I don't know I think he said it was the National Maduro they were working on.
Oh, the Nationales, yeah.
Yeah, and so Skip ended up buying thousands and thousands of them, and then he found he was introduced to Esteban, Raul's brother, and then they started Nica Sueño. So that's kind of cool how. But Dom, you had a question. I just want to tie that into the Cro-Magnon.
As a sales guy, what are your thoughts on marketing people?
All right, I'm going to tell you the truth. Marketing people need to spend more time on the road. So, for example, and I'll tell you why. So we have a marketing guy. His name's Raul. He's awesome.
Great dude.
Instagram is Design RF. And so marketing people take pictures in perfect spaces with perfect lighting. And if you've been on the road, that is never the case. So they assume things like shelves are flat and things like that. In reality, I can count I've serviced 17 states because I just they're like, dude, we don't want to hire a new rep yet. You want to do it? Sure, whatever, Christian. And you go and, dude, you find out that like 10 stores in the whole country have like flat shelves, but yet the marketing people designed for flat shelves. And so I brought Raul to Colorado just to kind of show him that, hey, listen, I'm going to show you the real world. And I think they need to spend more time on the road because anybody can design packaging, but packaging that works in stores that actually can be seen. I mean, that's why we put tissue paper on cigars, man, because you think about it, like stores aren't very well lit most of the time. Cellophane looks bad. Cellophane just checks 2 boxes, right? You can attach a barcode and it protects the cigars from people clawing at it. And tissue paper does the same thing, but just looks way better.
Topic actually about cellophane. Lee Marsh of Stone Throne, I was on a Zoom call with the ICS crew that he was on. He said yellow cello is a bad sign because that's all oils that he wants in the cigar, not on the cellophane. Do you guys have any comments?
Man, I think cigars are ready to smoke now, right?
Yeah.
We're like, nah, bro, check it out, bro, the cellophane. And it's like, dude, those cigars were ready to smoke like 5 years ago. And I think that, well, I mean, listen, materials now, it's a different animal, but the materials now that we make cigars with, and it's like as an industry, are way better than, say, I'm sure some people are gonna be like, no, you don't say that. I mean, the stuff from Cuba, man, like it's not fermented long enough and all these things. That's why you open the box and there's that little tissue paper that says you should wait 6 months. But I mean, the cigars that come out of Honduras, Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, wherever, they're practically ready to smoke. And that's because the materials are well fermented, well processed before that. So I think, when I see brown, if I see a cigar with that we make with brown cello, I'm like, man, that's taking so long to turn. What happened?
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. And it's like Padron, they don't they roll them and then they pack them very shortly after. They don't put them in what's that word? Escaparate. Now I got to get that.
Just call it
yeah.
Is that the cigar shocker?
The what?
Is that the fridge or freezer?
Oh, yeah, that's
no, it's
flash for export.
I don't think Dom knows what he's talking about.
I don't, but I was hoping
it's after. So they have to, and then Tyler would know more. Correct me when I'm wrong. So they have to wet the cigars to roll them because the leaves are drier, and so they put them in those rooms, right, to wick them out, get some of the moisture out, right?
Yeah, just to stabilize the cigar. So remember that, we humidify the factory, right? Because really, you'll see, I'm sure you've been to the factory, you see people spraying distilled water on wrapper leaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's to make them pliable.
Yeah.
But you'll see when, if you ever see tobacco come off of a pallet, right? They actually press the tobacco to make it into a bale. They put a hydraulic press. And so, I mean, the filler, it's processed a little bit, but really the wrapper has to have the most, water on it. I mean, it's very fine mist because it has to be, stretched and all that. So the cigar has to equilibrate again. So you could smoke a cigar off the rolling table and it's cool, right? But there's always that middle, there's always that period of a few days where it's just trying to find itself again. And then, after a little while, it's ready to go.
Yeah. It's smoking it right off the rolling table is rough. You give it a day to at least get some of that excess humidity out. I mean, it's still going to be wet. You get an idea, but so you either smoke it then or you wait a month and let it go through the sick period. I got some fresh rolled, don't tell Christian or Tom, I got some fresh rolled Asylum 7x70 Ogres. They're still in the paper from my first trip to Noxa in 2019. So I keep those as a memento.
Oh, what?
Memento. I was thinking of the movie. Wait, did that? I don't fucking know. I forgot where we're going with that. But I do when they're unsalloed, like a box of like the Pete, his 50-year. He came in these cabs of 50, and they're in wax paper, and they're in a wheel. So those are gonna age fucking amazing, and because all the oils and shit are just gonna go right back in there. And I kind of like what JC Newman's doing with the Yagua, where they put in that palm tree, the palm branch.
Yeah. Did you ever meet Lazaro? He actually was like the head accountant of NAXA before him and Omar left for Pensa. Did you ever meet that guy? He's the Cuban guy with the nice hair. We'll just leave it at that.
No,
no, he's a cool cat.
Have you seen Gus lately?
No, dude, I was supposed to go to see Gus.
Oh, yeah, you said you haven't been in Nicaragua. That's right.
Yeah, dude, I was supposed to go before TPE, but now it's so complicated and all that. And Christian's like, dude, you got stuff to do. Go later. But I mean, I talked to Gustavo when I was in Danlí. I called him on the phone, but he's doing well.
Yeah, he's a.
By the way, prerequisite to stay at Gustavo's house, for those who don't know, you have to like ceviche. But the cooking, Gustavo's fire.
Oh my God, he is. Skip's always posting Gringo Cocina. It's Gus is the best cook. No disrespect to Skip or Darren. But from La Finca de Mesa, right? La Finca, whatever, table to farm to table.
He's yeah, brother. Let me show you how to cook this ceviche.
Dude, yeah, I don't see now. Gus, like, he tells you to eat something. Like, I tried the ceviche. I'm a really like picky eater, and he had me eating salad and ceviche and all that. I'm like, ugh. But Gus is a hell of a fucking cook. His pot roast, man. Oh, I forgot where we were going with that, but yeah, if you can get a chance to eat at Casa de Akira, you've made it.
You're in for a treat.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get back there in next year with Mo from Patina. Dude, his new Maduro sizes are really, really good, and that's out of Naxa. Oh yeah, fucking Raul was at PCA. It was good to see Raul.
It was funny to see him. So I think he was the only, because usually at the PCA, like Trey Oliva comes and Johnny Oliva and Gustavo. I doubt you met Joe De Rosal, but he's like the controller.
I met him.
Oh yeah, you met him. He's like the controller.
He's a big guy, right?
Yeah, he's the controller of Oliva Tobacco Company, not the cigar people. We know that, but for whoever else is listening to this, and usually it's the whole crew. But they sent Raul there. And dude, he had to get like the COVID test. So he's running all around Las Vegas doing that. But I sat down with him for like an hour. Of course, Christian was there. And dude, Nicaragua's wild right now, man. It's hard to find labor. There's a lot of things.
Yeah, it's but see, Dom, this is the stuff you miss, like TPE. Like, now Tyler big time me. But I was able to spend some quality time with Tom Lazuka from Asylum, and then Hector and Raul Flores, right? Raul Flores.
Yeah,
not to be confused with Raul Diesel, but I was able to spend time with them. Tyler was probably out gallivanting around town, meeting up with all of his girlfriends.
Dude, rage I'm either like in a really shit mood or I'm really happy. It's usually the latter, because Christian's texting me like 45 times a day about the back order, but he was there too. So so you probably were with the other Tyler, right? Cool.
Yep, it was. And then Swole Nerd Tyler, and then it was I had Lenny from Owl Ear was there with us. So it was the guys, Larry, the owner of Smoke Ring, and then Hector and Raul, they fucking loved Lenny. Lenny was a hit of TPE. So
speaking of Lenny, did you hand out any of our little car fresheners that we kind of copied from him?
Dude, I gave him that idea.
You gave him that idea?
Yeah. He just pulled the trigger first because you didn't pull the trigger. So he pulled the trigger first.
Did he also do Bix?
Yeah. I told him to do Bix too. Why do you doubt me all the time?
Wait, we did it
with everything.
Did you hand them out? Did people enjoy them? Did they say thank you? They smell great.
I gave them to Tyler. He appreciated it. He fucking loved it. Mo.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I gave some to Ben. Roland, his wife was there, Sarah. So luckily I had his envelope in my car. So I haven't sent those out yet, guys. Sorry. I gotta get stamps. It's been crazy. But okay, now let's move on to the topic that I asked you guys to listen to, the new Kanye West album. It was interesting. I didn't watch any of the release parties, when they pulled out Marilyn Manson and the baby. But I'm a big Kanye fan, man. And
Same.
like I wasn't huge into like you like the one he did with Kid Cudi. I didn't like that one. And then
Kids See Ghosts.
yeah, and then he did The Life of Pablo I liked. And then the one he did right before this one.
Yay. And then Jesus King or Jesus Lord?
God is King.
No. It's either Jesus Lord, Jesus is King.
Yeah. That one, I liked one of the songs on there, but I hadn't really listened to it. I thought the album was okay. There's a lot of fluff on it, man. Were there any tracks that, well, first of all, I want to say too, his production is amazing. The beats and all that shit is amazing. Were there any tracks that stood out to you guys?
I like Jail. I think that was like the second track right after the chant.
Donda.
Dude,
Donda.
A little Tyler fact. I have a degree in music education that clearly I use, right? I think when I think of like epic length albums, I think the best one's like Trapped in the Closet, right? I know R. Kelly's going through some bad times right now. We're gonna find some things, but you think about Trapped in the Closet, I think it was like an epic thing, right? And there's a story, and there's midgets, and the guy Rufus, and Kathy, and whatever. This was just like, I felt like I was listening to like some like art music. I don't know, like, dude, it was exhausting.
I felt like Life of Pablo was like listening to art music. I wasn't a fan of that album.
People love that album, and I like there's some bangers on that album, The Life of Pablo, and it's cool that he uses it like it's ever changing. Like he was editing it for like months afterwards, like tweaking it, like it's a organic fucking livable fucking thing. I thought that was cool. But yeah, when I heard that first track, I'm like, what am I into? But Jail with Jay-Z, that was a good song. Now I fell asleep, and like half asleep, half waking up, Remote Control came on with featuring what the fuck's his name? That rapper from
the Rap Genius.
Oh shit, we time out. No, I'm gonna get it. He can always edit this out. Young Thug. And that song has been on repeat for me. Remote Control. So it was. I just got a text. He's like, dude, I need your new address for your financing on your car. Okay, so
wait, talk about that new car. I think you mentioned that before the podcast.
We'll talk about it after we're in the middle of the Kanye thing.
Fair.
So yeah, that song has been on repeat, and then also like, all right, Dom, you pick a song. I'm gonna look up something real quick.
I liked Heaven and Hell, Jesus is Lord, because both of those had kind of stories like a ballad, where I actually could follow what was being said, and it wasn't just random thoughts, and it just drones. I feel like it's all background music.
Yeah.
Tell the Vision had a great beat and then didn't do anything with it. But yeah, Jail's catchy, but it's just like it's a pop song to me.
Yeah.
I don't like Kanye being pop.
No. Man, Kanye, I mean, he has pretty cool ideas, but it was just, I don't know. It was exhausting. I don't like music that's exhausting to listen to.
Yeah. God Breathe was good. I mean, he's just repeating that. But like I said, man, the production is, and then Praise God with Jay Electronica, which I don't know much about him. I heard he's like one of the best rappers out there, and he came out with an album, and it took him like 10 years after his first album came out. That one I like. Well, yeah, Praise God, and then like the message of it. I posted a pretty cool article that Dave Burke from Cigar Jukebox posted, and it kind of explained the song, how it's about like people losing their parents. And that's what I like about the album too. It's in dedication of his mom, who I believe passed away due to like a cosmetic surgery, right? She was getting some kind of cosmetic surgery, I believe.
You're talking about Kanye's mom?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no clue.
I think she died during surgery. Like, I don't know if it was like liposuction or Tyler, do you know?
Dude, I don't know, man.
Yeah. So it's like, and just like reading stories about his mom, and and it's to me it's the message behind it. Now I know some people can't separate the artist from the art, or whatever, but it's like, I mean, with how things are, like there's guys who I know who only listen to country now because it's pro America. They won't listen to anything else because somebody said this about that or about this politician. It's like, I don't fucking care. Like, if it's like same with movies. Like, I don't care what your beliefs are. Is a movie good or not? But yeah, the message behind that song about losing your parents young, and then at the end it had the son of Larry Hoover senior, so junior. I mean, he was thanking Kanye, but about his dad being incarcerated. One of the leaders of GD out of Chicago, Gangster Disciples. But that song is really good. Praise God. And then I like Moon. I've been on a big Don Toliver listen to him a lot, and he's from Houston. He's gonna be in Austin in a couple weeks. I might try to make his concert. Hurricane I like, that's got a Little Baby, and it's got The Weeknd. I'm a big fan of The Weeknd.
Yeah, Weeknd's
but yeah, Moon also features Kid Cudi. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fluff in there. There's a lot of shit you can get rid of, but there's 8 to 10 songs that I listen to. There's 3 or 4 songs that I like a lot.
Apparently the list was even longer.
Yeah.
They cut it down. And then like this release they did was without Kanye's permission, allegedly, and Drake had something to do with it. I don't know. But I mean, listen, man, you know who's coming to West Palm Beach this weekend, Tyler?
Yeah, you sent me it.
Boy, Tekashi's Fine.
Dude, I was listening to my shuffle on and that song one of his songs came out with Nicki Minaj. Or was it with Kanye West? Yeah, they're both in the song. Dude, he fucking disappeared. I haven't heard shit from him.
Did you watch the Tekashi 69 documentary?
No,
what?
It's on HBO.
It's on HBO. I watched it. Raul and I were in the hotel one night. We're in Colorado. He's like, yeah, bro, you should watch this documentary about Tekashi, like the making of Tekashi. It's really good. I mean, Tekashi, man, like, listen, he's got some bangers. And a little Pump, like his new song, I don't know if you heard it, Racks to the Ceiling. That's trash.
I don't like Lil Pump. I will never listen to him.
So you have like this subgenre of like rappers that have tattoos in their face and have different color hair and all that. But listen, man, Tekashi, all this stuff's bangers. I hate to say it.
Yeah, and I like too, like he does like songs in all Spanish, like pop songs. Like it's just weird how it's like he goes from like the first song I heard from him was like a super like aggressive.
Was it International Gangsters? It was like in German and
no, it was he recorded it like in New York, running through the streets, but it was like his number one, like his first like
Gooba or whatever.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Like something about fucking your bitch, or like it's just like super aggressive. I'm like, oh, and then he comes out with like the stuff he does with Nicki Minaj, and he did a song with Lil Baby. Yeah, I don't like the Baby. I like Lil Baby. Lil Baby's good. I don't like calling grown men baby though. I mean, there's too many babies out there. Bad baby.
But you think about all the littles, right? Like whatever happened to Lil Bow Wow? What's he doing?
Yeah.
Yo, hey,
Yo,
this wasn't planned. That's our new segment that we're gonna. I don't know if we're gonna do it today, but it's called Bow Wow, our boy of the week, and then our worst of the week, Bow Wow.
Oh god. But like John here is John De Oliver, he's the sales dude here, him and Mike Rosales. John totally hates every kind of music I like. His wife, Jara, who's a Rock Patel rep in Texas, me and her have very similar music. We like the same kind of music. But John likes those rappers from Buffalo, Griselda, Benny the Butcher. I forgot him. Skip posted one of his albums that he's like, this is awful. I tried listening to it. I can't get into it. It's like the whole, like, it feels like old, like 90s, Wu-Tang-ish, but like stuff like it's good background music, but nothing that like gets you like amped up or anything, you know.
I mean, there's nothing to be amped up about in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah. So
besides dirty plates, have you had that? It's like a plate full of shit food, but it's awesome.
I would say Bill's Tailgates.
Dude, I love how they break all those tables. But there's so many genres of rap, and then for someone to only like John, to only like that like style, like Benny the Butcher, the Griselda, that group, because they're like two half brothers and a cousin. They're all like 39 years old. And it's funny too, like rap, like you have to be a certain fucking age. Like, oh, they're past they've only been around. They've only been like popular for like 3 years. A lot of people say like they're too old. Like I remember like fucking Nas talking about how old Jay-Z was in the early 2000s or mid 2000s. It's like, dude, why can't you rap until you're 50? I mean, I get it. You're not out there slinging dope on the street, but you can rap about whatever, you know. But what are your thoughts? Oh wait, go on.
Jay's like, I think of, when I really think of like consummate business people, right? Like in the rap game, like people like, dude, Ross, there's little Bel Air Rose, Wingstop, like all that. Like the dude knows that, like, all right. So I like, all hating aside, or Ross was a cop. Ross was in the prison system on the other side. Ross has a chain. Like if you listen to all the Maybach music, like it's every Maybach music is like it changes, right? But I mean, Jay-Z's like in that God tier, right? Jay-Z, Busta, I'm sure Nas, all that. Like they're in the God tier, but everybody else, like
Tupac, B.I.G.
Like like those people, like they're
Rakim.
But there's people already know, like, dude, I can't rap forever, and so they go out and do business deals, and I think it's a really smart thing to do. Because look at these people all their life, and they end up like there's some SoundCloud rapper, and I can't, I mean, look, Tekashi made it, whatever, but Tekashi, if you see the documentary, you'll know like Tekashi made like viral videos and shit, but you think about people are like, dude, I'm not gonna have this money forever, so they go and do their business people. I think it's important.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man, or how
Business.
that goes. Yeah. Who is Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny, he is from, I think he's from Puerto Rico. I'm gonna fact, dude. I should know. If I'm the name.
I thought Bad Bunny was a chick until like a year ago.
The funny hair. So he is from Almirante Sur, Puerto Rico. I've been in Puerto Rico one time. Almirante is like admiral. But anyways, dude, Bad Bunny has a couple of hits. He has a couple of bangers. More club music than anything else. But he's not in the Ricky Martin level. He's not in Enrique Santos. He's not in the God tier. But he's riding the wave. And I mean, it's like Anuel, right? Anuel did a little dab with a little pump called Illuminati. That one's a banger, but he's not in Latin. He's not in the God tier. But I mean, dude, Latin women love Bad Bunny.
Have you
put on that music on a Tinder date? You're good.
On a Tinder date.
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Oh,
Us
dude.
European girls like him.
Mr. 305.
Yeah.
Pitbull.
You listen to much Trick Daddy down there? He's from Miami, right?
Trick loving kids.
Something happened, let the sun shine in. That's a
Trick
banger.
loving kids. And when he's buying orange juice from everybody, I mean, orange soda or whatever. Yeah, man. Now Trick Daddy has like some dark shit. I don't like it. Or maybe some earlier stuff. I don't know. But
Yeah,
dude, I just remember Trick Daddy was like Trick loving kids. And that's the Trick Daddy I'll forever know.
A good thing he didn't come out like he was like R. Kelly. That would have been.
Oh yeah.
It's like, dude, he warned you. Nobody listened.
Trick loving kids.
Yeah.
Orange soda.
So
Real quick,
what's the
hold on to that. Shout out to our sponsor before we forget. CigarNoise. Dave West does all the stuff for Small Batch, all the write-ups. And not related, but I saw somebody in the in the Weasel group on Facebook post something, and his name was also Dave West.
It's a common name.
It's a different Dave. Is it?
Yeah, I have a supervisor in Milwaukee whose name is Dave West.
Oh, never mind. That's it. Shout out CigarNoise. Go buy some stuff off Small Batch.
So Tyler, Southwest started flying into Miami, and they needed people, and they were offering an incentive, but Milwaukee wasn't on the list. You would have gotten a nice signing bonus to go down there. So I was going to go down to Miami if I would have gotten that signing bonus, because Austin was taking forever. So I'm like, I'll go to Miami for a year. Luckily, only about 4 months later, I was able to transfer down here. But that would have been cool, I think, because there's a lot of cool dudes in Miami. You got Jack, Drew Estate. You got Terrence.
Juan Lopez.
Gurkha. Juan Lopez. You're down there. Who the fuck is where does Casey Hogan live? Boca Raton?
Yeah, Boca.
How far is that?
Like an hour and some change. Less than 2.
Casey's good shit.
Brad Winstead, he's in charge of Casa de Akira now for all to this. He lives in Boca Raton. That's where like the New Yorkers go. They call it Boca Raton. That's where all the people go. Because I mean, it's in Boca Raton. Like you can speak English and you can do perfectly fine, but it's still South Florida. So everybody who goes to Boca sounds like this: Boca Raton.
What was the biggest transition for you from? So where were you from in the Northeast?
Woodbridge, Virginia, 30 miles south of DC.
Okay. So yeah, what's been the big, besides the weather?
Dude, it's expensive. So imagine so I think the biggest lesson I could draw from moving to Miami, dude, I really became an adult when I put my parents back on the plane and I realized that this is it, bro. I'm on my own. Imagine, because I mean, what happened to me? So I came from retail, and I was making like $12 an hour, and I go to work for Christian. I'm getting my expenses paid. I'm getting paid every week, dude. I thought I was rich. I blew my money on like going back to Old Dominion partying, and I had nothing to show for it. And so I go to Miami, and I'm like, damn, everything's expensive here. Like I'm talking about, like I went to this place called Blue Martini with this chick. And that was like $400. It was crazy. I mean, I hardly wasn't making any money back then. And dude, car insurance, stupid expensive in Virginia. At the time, this was 2014. I was paying like $600 every 6 months for comprehensive.
Yeah.
In Miami, it's like $1,200.
But they'll state income tax. But everything else is expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a Les Mis, right? They charge you for the mice, extra for the lice.
Nice.
Twice, like they get you in Florida, bro. Don't let it fool you.
Yeah, and that's like in Texas too. It's no state income, but there's fucking tollways everywhere. Like okay, so I don't know how much if I talked about this at all, but I got I was crashing at Skip's house for like a month because it literally took a month to get into this fucking apartment. So, and it's frustrating. Like, okay, when you moved to Miami, you had a support system there. You had the guys from, you had Christian and then the guys who worked down there.
But I was not even like, I kind of knew Chris. I didn't know Christian as well as I do now.
Yeah.
He was just,
yeah.
Tyler showed up. I can't believe it, dude. I mean, these people. So let me tell you, it's like the kind of the preface of moved to Miami, right?
Yeah.
So I get almost fired. Like, yo, move to Miami or else, practically. And dude, so I go to Christian's. This was before Uber, so I just give the guy Christian's address and somehow make it. So Christian had this Hummer, and this Hummer, dude, like Christian got this Hummer serviced at Jiffy Lube, and the thing's like a supercar. So he's like, so people who were supposed to help me, they're out of town. So he's like, Tyler, go on Craigslist, go find a place. And this Hummer was like overheating and all this. It was crazy. In fact, I ended up sleeping in Christian's driveway because Christian and his wife, Alexandra, they went out to some society party in the neighborhood. And the way these H2s are wired, if you move the key the wrong way in the ignition, like it drains the battery. And my cell phone died. And long story short, I put a deposit on a home that I could not afford in Fontainebleau. And I made it to the airplane by, no joke, getting out of Christian's house with 1% battery in my iPad, like jumping the fence, getting the Uber. And so I just found the place, man, driving 12 hours. No, and I was like, just kidding. Like 14 hours to Miami. And that's what happened, man. So, I mean, I really didn't have a support system at the time, but now, you know, I've been there. I've been with the Eiroas and all that for 8 years now. Now they're like family to me, but bro, before it was like no man's. It was like everybody for themselves. Like I didn't even know if the people in the office were gonna like me, dude. Almost, if it wasn't for the women at the office, dude, I would have been fired like 20 million times. So imagine, I had no support system. All I had was my job and like Bumble. That was my support system.
Great app. Yeah, and that's like, so I come down here and then I didn't know I was gonna be able to stay at Skip's house. Like I drove here and then I got here at like 7 a.m. I started looking at hotels to, you know, stay at for like a week, like extended stays. Nothing had availability. And I'm like, so I messaged Skip and he's like, yeah, that's cool, man. Talk to Sean. So I talked to Sean. He gives me a lowdown. I crashed for one whole day. I slept for one whole fucking day. And then so I start looking at apartments and I think I find one I like, and then it's far away from everything. And I'm like, well, I want to be by the airport and I want to be by Skip's house because that's where I'll be hanging out at, you know, when he's in town, which I don't know how often he's gonna be around. So I find this apartment and it's been a headache. And then I finally get everything figured out. Like I knew it was gonna be expensive, but I didn't think it would be $1,400. And it's like
that's more than my mortgage, bro.
I know. I'm getting a house in a year. I just wanted to do 1 year in a real nice apartment with like a huge like resort style pool and all
the
that
amenities.
Shit. Yeah. So my move-in date was last Monday. I fill up my car. I empty out Skip's place with all my shit, fill up my car, and I get to the apartment and they're like, oh yeah, we usually don't move in with people until 4 o'clock. It is 9, 10 a.m. My car's full of shit. And I'm like, you guys have been awful. Very frustrating to deal with. And I walked out. And I came back at 4, like still pissed. Like I was calmed down a little bit, but I was still like, dude, don't bullshit with me. Just give me my fucking key and leave me alone. But everything here is everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. My car's fucked. And I try to get it fixed. And then, so I go there, I make an appointment at a dealership because that's what my mechanic in Milwaukee told me to do. Take it to the dealership. So I make an appointment. John follows me over there, and it takes me a half hour just to fucking see the guy because there's a line full of people to drop the car off. He's like, all right, come pick your car off. Come pick your car up in 24 to 48 hours. I'm like, what? I'm like, you're just going to look at it now. He's like, well, it's already 11 a.m. And I'm like, so it's going to take 2 days possibly just for you to fucking figure out what's wrong with it, not even fix it. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, you didn't call anybody? I'm like, no, I made the fucking, who calls people nowadays? I made the appointment online. So I've been going full Karen on fucking everybody here.
So what are you driving now?
It's a Buick Regal 2011, but it's what happens is I think it overheats and then the engine power goes down. So it takes me a while to get up to like 70, 75. It'll take me like a mile. So like I got to make sure nobody's behind me when I'm pulling out, and it comes on and off. So like at night, it usually goes off and I can drive no problem. But during the day, I'm fucked. So when I get this truck, I'm going to go drop it off and get it fixed. And then I'm going to give the car to my mom, and she can drive it back to Wisconsin. So she has another car.
Your mom, death trap.
No, it's I'm going to fix it before I give it to her, but it's only got 140,000 miles on it. 2011 or 2012,
Baby.
2012. Yeah. So yeah, that, and then like today, like, so the airport has been fucking crazy busy. People are flying everywhere. So they're offering all these incentives for you to pick up overtime. So it was my day off, and I could have made a lot of money if I would have worked a double, but I wanted to have my internet hooked up so I could do the podcast tonight at my house. And the guy comes. I must have been in the shower or I was laying down. I didn't hear him knock because I don't have a doorbell for some fucking reason. So I'm like, I'm laying down. I'm like, he'll just call me or text me when he's here. They fucking used a phone number that I haven't used in 20 years. It was my home phone number from when I was in fucking school. I'm like, I forgot about that number. Like now it's in my head, 414-282-5514. But that was like, I'm like, how the fuck did you get that number? I'm like, I set this account up with my cell phone plan. It's AT&T. It's like, you can't call any of the numbers on the cell phone plan. You're like, oh, well, the accounts aren't linked.
Before you continue, Miami Tyler, we've been podcasting for almost an hour. If you need to go do something, go to bed, let us know, because don't let me know, let other Tyler know, because he will talk for another 3 hours.
I'll wrap it up. It's just
I'm gonna work out, but I'll give you 5 or 10 more minutes.
All right, perfect. So it's just been it's been frustrating, but I think my problem is, like, I was talking to Skip and Mike. It's like I expect the worst, and when you expect the worst tends to happen. So I need to start being more, and that's kind of like why I work a shit. Like if I could work every single day, I work every day. Like I don't mind. I like to work, and I think it's because I know someday something's gonna go wrong. And the money that I have saved up, the money I have in my retirement, I might have to use it. So it's like, I'm just going to keep padding those things,
I'll tell you, man, I knew you trolled Dave Ramsey forums. Cause like, dude, Dave Ramsey thing is like, it kind of makes you like fear, like spending any money. Right.
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you, and obviously Skip's very good with his money. There's a lot of people in the cigar business that you shouldn't take financial advice from. Just we'll talk about that off the record. But dude, like, I'm just gonna say this: there's a lot of people who they talk about having a lot of money, and then like $1,000 mistake or error happened, not an error, but emergency happens, like a crisis, right? Dude, I was that guy. Dude, I'll tell you, man. I just started getting a good relationship with money like 4 years ago. Christian,
me too,
gives you really good financial advice. Sometimes he's like, no, bro, you got to buy a $40 million house because they'll give money to anybody, no fear. I'm like, whoa, relax, dude. But let me tell you, man, like my father, my late father, he's not with us anymore. He died when he was like 51, I think. But anyways, he's giving me some advice. He's like, dude, he who has the cash is in control, right? So imagine this. You got to get so I had this Volvo SUV that it's taking like 3 days to get stupid stereo fixed. They put Pirelli tires in this thing, which suck. Dude, I had to get all new tires, bro. Like I'm talking about, just the wear is so bad. But you know what? I had money in the bank, and you know how I saved this money? Because listen, I used to be bad at sales. I still I suck relative to Michelle and all these other people. Michelle Stewart's talking about, if you haven't met her. But dude, there's a time where I was spending like 15 days straight on the road. I saved a lot of money and this and that. That's how I was able to buy a house. But the first thing I did was pay off my debt. Buying a house only happened last year. Because, dude, once you have money in the bank and low debt or no debt, dude, you're in control of your life.
Yeah.
Because, dude, there are people that dude, they have to like get payday loans to get their teeth cleaned, shit like that, you know? So, I mean, it's good that you're working all that extra time, but eventually, you get your finances straight, whatever that may be, get your new whip, but dude, enjoy the money, man.
Yeah. And that's kind of like what I've been telling myself. Cause I mean, I bought a house and luckily I'm able to cover the mortgage by having my mom move in. And, so she's
charge your mom rent. That's fucked up, bro.
Well, what the fuck? She's gonna live for free.
I'm kidding.
So, and I left most of my shit there. So it's like, I do kick in a couple $100 a month. Cause I look at it as like a fucking storage unit. I'm saving money on a storage unit. Cause I left all my shit there. So
dude, like, you have equity in.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's like, so, I mean, I'm in a really good spot. Like I wouldn't have made the move because I've been working all year for this, that's why I went to Denver all those times. But so like, I'm like, I'm going to buy a nice shit for this fucking apartment. So it's like nice plates, a brand new, nice TV, even though my living room's the size of a walk-in closet. I bought a 65-inch TV, like state of the art. It's going to take up the whole wall and I'm going to be 4 feet in front of it. But it's like when I come home after working a double or after working 8 hours at the airport and then coming here and helping with the shipment and working 4 or 5 hours, I want to be able to sit down and put on Netflix and just fucking chill. And, and the thing with Ramsey is, and then some of these cats, like I troll the fuck out of them on this Facebook group. You should join it. You guys should join it. It's called Dave Ramsey Baby Steps and Baby Steppers. Cause he had this old, I went through the baby steps last week on the podcast, but people are just talking about how they save like how they're saving like dollars. It's like, dude, it's not about that. It's about, now I understand how this is another fucking tangent, but how the Dave Ramsey works for certain people. If you can't control how you spend money, it works for you.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say that.
If you like, when I was younger and I'm like, I'll put stuff on a credit card. I'm like, you know what? I'll work an extra shift and I'll pay it off. And then
never do.
And then you keep adding to it. And then you get to the fuck it point. And you're like, I got $500 left until I max it out. I might as well fucking max it out. Like now it's like, dude, when you have money, you don't want to spend it. You don't want to fucking spend it because it's like, you like where it is. You like having it in your savings account. So I don't follow his stuff 100%. Like I wouldn't have financed a car, but it's like, I can make more money putting that money somewhere else. And my interest rate's going to be close to fucking zero. Where else am I going to make that money at? I mean,
I think the best Dave Ramsey advice though is like the fiduciary stuff, right? Like, so for example, it's funny. Tyler called me today. He tried to prank call me asking about BBB Investment Group and Bitcoin, bro. But the fiduciary thing's really interesting because like fiduciary is somebody who like cares about Tyler's money. If I'm your banker, your portfolio guy, I'm not gonna be, bro, I just put this thing in this new coin. It's called Skip Coin, bro. It's gonna go to the moon. Instead I'm like, hey, I have this portfolio. I think the return's gonna be they're gonna be good based on your tolerance for risk and this and that. And I think that's a big Dave Ramsey thing I agree with, man. Is that it's about investing your money with somebody who actually cares about you and isn't like, bro, lines go up and down. And dude, it's funny, man, with the BBB Investment Group, how people who are like in tune with the interweb know that like Raul and I are fucking around. But there's some people who think like the Ferrari's mine, man. They're like, bro, keep grinding, bro. And I'm like, you never realize there's like Christian's Ferrari and Christian's plane, right? Which is a business tool, by the way. A lot of haters on that plane.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you though, talk about the plane since we're talking about it. It's a business tool, right? So first off, everybody they see a little pump on an airplane and they're like, well, man, I bet that's what it's like riding on Christian's plane. False, fake news.
False.
It's like 7 people on that thing and you're cramped in. But so imagine like during COVID, like the real deal COVID, when everything was shut down, there was no trade show. We were able to go from in like a week, Miami to Dallas, rather Miami to Houston, Houston to Dallas, Dallas to Columbus and home, just like on plane rides. We didn't have to like book the commercial legs and go this, that, and other way. So like it was a cool thing, man. That's so dope. People are like, nah, bro. Because people are like, nah, he has a plane. It's not fair, dude. The thing is like from 1987. and it's truly a business tool. Just I'm just throwing it out in the air, so people are like, "No, man, Christian, you have the plane."
Yeah. There's certain extremes, like John will make fun of me that he says I'm cheap. It's like, I'm not cheap because I don't want to spend an extra $30 on Grubhub to get my food delivered. I'll just go fucking get it myself. Like, that's not being cheap. That's just being, the food's cold anyways. I'd rather go get it myself. And who knows what
Hector, Hector Lyer, right?
Just make the food yourself.
Texas.
Yeah, well, I do, Dom. I cook most of the time. But I know Hector. I know Hector.
Dude, Hector. So I do the expense reports for the company for the salespeople, and Hector is like the king of like Uber Eats. I'm like, bro, Hector, don't you want to like eating? Like, dude, I hate eating I'm in a hotel like 70 nights a year. You think I'm gonna eat a meal in the hotel? No way, man. But Hector's like, no, bro, Uber Eats, bro. I'm like, dude, it's so expensive for nothing.
Yeah.
You can drive 3 miles. It's like, I can only imagine like how much it costs to have a hard 8 delivered to your hotel room. When you could just go drive to wherever that part of Texas is, if you're in the area, and just go and sit down and absorb the noise. I don't know why people are so, I don't know. I get it. Because, dude, there are people that are getting sick from like the delivery driver. Dude, just go drive, deal with people. You'll be way better off.
That's another group that I've infiltrated is the Door Dashers. And it's a whole interesting thing how DoorDash doesn't show you how much you're going to get paid for your delivery until after you do it. And so there's guys like, if you go to Chipotle, like these drivers are getting paid $2 to deliver your burrito. That doesn't even cover the gas, let alone the wear and tear, let alone your fucking time. It's like you're worth more than that. So like there's like a group of guys who are like, they're like called top dashers, where they pick up every delivery no matter what. And then you got the people who sit back and pick out the good ones. It's like,
well, how do you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure because I've signed up, but I've only looked because it's like, it's not worth my time, but it's just been interesting to me. But I think sometimes it will say like, it will be like at least $2 or at least $7. So there'll be but depend. You gotta calculate the mileage, and you have like a second or 10 seconds to decide if it's worth your time or not.
Yeah.
So like they'll look at the restaurant.
Couch hunters are doing DoorDash.
Yeah. So it's but going back to like John saying I'm cheap. There's a guy I work with I used to work with in Milwaukee. He's got like 25 years with the company. And he shows everybody how much he has in his 401k. It's over $1 million. And he's showing you like how much he has in his savings account all the time. And it's like, but the guy is 48 years old, lives in a 1-room fucking shack, shares a bathroom with 5 other random dudes. And it's like, that's not like a good life. Like you have to balance it. Like for me, like I went, it's like I go and buy cigars all the time. Like, or I'll buy like shoes and shit. It's like, but there's certain stuff like I don't eat out. I cook all my shit. Well,
even more than just living cheap. If you are comfortable living your life that way, and then all of a sudden you turn, was it 65, and then you have $1 million+ bucks, I feel like you're prone to just burn through that.
Or you catch up on all the FOMO.
Yeah, or like, I mean, but that's like my grandpa. He passed away, and but he had worked 3 jobs his whole life, lived a very modest life, but he took care of his kids and his grandkids, and he left them something. Now I don't have any kids. Like I don't know if I will. I mean, I'm 32. I would like kids, but
Tyler, be my kid's godfather when I have some.
No, I'd probably leave all my money to my brother.
Oh,
he's only he's 18 months younger than me. So, but
it's funny.
Healthier.
My younger brother is 18 months younger than I am.
How old are you again?
I'm 31.
Okay, I turned 33 next.
Do your brothers have the same name?
My brother's name is Austin.
Oh, Colton is my brother's name. Dom met my brother. Good dude. He's out in San Jose too. But yeah, it's just
you enjoy your money, man.
Yeah, and
blow it on. You don't want to be like that 60-year-old dude with the Yeezys on, whatever, right? Maybe you do. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, and that's the whole reason why I moved down here and took on that posh apartment, even though Rudy is flexing on me on Instagram. But it's I want to live. Yeah, I don't know. I want to experience like downtown Austin. Like I'm like really close to downtown Austin, and then I'll buy a house probably in the same area. I mean, it's a sketchy area, but I feel safe. You know, so we'll see.
Dude,
it's
Post Malone, man. The guy Post Malone still drinks Bud Light and smokes Marlboros. Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta come down to Austin, man.
Yeah, my brother used to live in Killeen.
Okay.
Right. Now
it is.
Killeen is like an hour in some direction from Austin. Killeen is the army base. Now my brother lives in the proving grounds in Aberdeen, Maryland, which is like in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
I gotta make it down the Texas Republic. I actually have a friend of mine who I studied abroad with. Who's whiter than I am. He works for Telemundo in Dallas.
Oh, nice.
Producer. Or let me know when you're in Miami, bro. As long as I'm in town, we'll link up.
I should plan a trip down there, and I should message Hector. He lives in Dallas, I assume, or Houston.
Hector lives in Houston.
Okay, I should hit him up if he ever travels. Because there's accounts down here that carry CLE, right?
Yeah, Hector goes to like McAllen and stuff. So I mean, okay. I'm sure
I'll have to tell him to stop by HQ for a smoke.
Yeah, no, dude, hit me up. Do you have my cell phone number?
No, I'll have to get. I'll have to get it.
I'm to give it to you.
All right.
I'm gonna go to the gym and shit.
Yeah, I gotta.
Always a pleasure, man. I know this podcast kind of went like 10 million directions. Maybe not even direction we wanted it to go, but it was still cool to do it. But send me your addresses, guys, and I'll send you some new stuff.
I would like that.
I'll send you that new.
Yeah, because Dom lives in California, so he's got the very expensive taxes out there. So,
but hey, it's beautiful when it's not smoky and on fire.
Women, weed, and weather, man. Oh, real quick, guys, song of the week, man. Fucking, it's Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar. It's called, I forgot what it's called, but I've listened to it 150 times. It is called, 1 second, Family Ties. Bro, that song is dope as fuck. So is Sharing Locations, Meek Mill featuring Lil Baby and young Lil Durk from Chicago. Check out that song too. It's a really good song. But Tyler, we got to get you on soon, like next month or so, because I want to touch base more, because I've been smoking a lot of your guys' stuff, and the stuff is really, really good. And dude, even those like the CL, like even the Asylum, you know, some of them are a lot bigger ring gauges, but like the Medulla and Oblongata are really, really good. The Maduro and the regular one, and then the CLE stuff, like like those short fat dudes are awesome.
Oh, the Chaparro. Yeah, you got the Takashi 69x4s and all that.
Yeah, dude. I've been on a Honduran kick ever since I went down to Honduras. Like the only two Honduran, well, I guess Cavalier, but I don't know how much Honduran tobacco stuff they use, but I really dig the stuff that your company's doing, and then JRE also. So
thanks, man. No, listen, man, Christian's father, the old man, he's like in his 80s now. The guy just loves to farm. Like the guy is growing Cameroon now, which he tried. If you ask people like that new Don Julio, they're in Camacho, like they tried. Christian and his dad tried growing Cameroon in Hamastron a long time ago. It didn't really work out. So now the fact that he can do it, it's pretty cool. Christian's dad just likes to grow tobacco, man.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, the guy. In fact, when did you go to JRE?
March of 2019. February 2019. In
addition to the house. The guy loves to add on, and I mean he's a frustrated contractor. You know, like Don Julio loves to build stuff. He had a fish pond in his backyard, and he got rid of that, and he likes exotic birds, and it's pretty cool, man. Don Julio, he's the shit, honestly.
Yeah, I regret not hopping in that pool. But the views, dude, because it's like on a hill, like his house, and you can see the stars. You feel like you can fucking touch the stars. Like, I got to get back down there. How far away? Okay, this is the last fucking thing.
Sure.
This is where I'm confused about. So, Christian has his own factory, right? He doesn't use Julio's. He has his own factory. Yeah.
I'm gonna put it out here right now.
All right.
All right. So where the confusion begins. So if you look up our factory on Google Maps, so right, it's called CLE Cigar Factory now. But if you look on Google Maps, it's called El Cine Viejo Aladino. Yeah. Because the movie theater was called Aladino, Aladdin. Not to be confused with General Admiral Aladdin, but you remember the movie, right? The dictator?
No.
Whatever. Okay. But anyways, Aladino was the landmark. And so the factory was called Aladino. But remember, you gotta understand like the syntax of JRE and CLE, right? So Christian's father built that factory in Las Lomas, the one you went to.
Yeah.
Was it yellow when you went?
Yeah.
Okay, so dude, time just like congealed together. Anyways, so that factory before it was yellow, before Aladino, before these things, it was like a training factory for the Operation Dan Lee. And when Christian was really doing the Honduran trips and stuff like that, he had this concept where he wanted to make a cigar just for people who went to the trips. And then, Honduras got complicated and like politically and all that. When Christian was doing the Camp Camacho trips, this was like when the Camacho Corojo came out in 2001. The return was crazy. Now, Drew Estate does a trip, Rocky does it. Everybody's seen the factory now, so there's not as much mystique. Anyways, long story short, Christian's father, his dream has always been to launch a brand. That's he thought, that's how Cuban cigars were supposed to smoke in 1950s, what have you. And so he built the factory in Las Lomas, which is called Las Lomas, the hills. And so for a long time, Christian's father's factory is called Las Lomas, and our factory is called Aladino. So a lot of people got confused. So they're like, wait a second, you make CLE at Aladino? Yes. And these things go back and forth. But what's Don Julio's factory called us Las Lomas, but they make Aladino there, yes. And so we just call the factory now Dan Lee CLE Cigar Factory. Don Julio's factory is Las Lomas.
Okay.
So
no, I understand.
It got confusing, and it's actually pretty funny. We actually went down to Dan Lee. When was it? Sometime. So imagine we were the first non-humanitarian flight to go to Honduras. You had to get like permission from the government to go. This was late 2020, and we go, and the Aladino sign was taken off the factory in Dan Lee. So that's when that really became the CLE factory. So remember, now Aladino just makes Tatiscan, Aladino, all those other brands that Don Julio makes and Jerry makes, which by the way is a separate business. We did distribute that brand very briefly, but frankly, it was just going to do the best. Like it's going to do its best by itself.
Yeah.
Just a job. But so that's all happening in Las Lomas and Hamastron. Because remember, since Christian's father is wheelchair bound, he doesn't really drive much on the highway. He just drives around the compound and the farm, right? Or the CLE cigar factories in Dan Lee. That's the one Christian owns.
How far away are they from each other?
30 minutes.
Okay.
So you just get on the highway. So you probably passed by La Colonia, right?
Yeah.
The girl in Dan Lee.
Yeah.
So you just keep on going down that highway, and there's like a fountain in a park, and we're in the soccer stadium, and you can actually like hit the General Cigar Factory, Hatsa, which Christian's father actually built in 1975 when it was down to Bois. You can hit it with a rock from our factory.
Oh wow.
Yep. It's a small world, man. But
no, I'm glad I asked that, because I was still I was there and I was still confused, because it was just like, with the different names and then Aladino and so I'm glad that it's hopefully some listeners learn something too.
Have those people, they could not have any more different tastes, right? Christian's father likes mild cigars. Christian likes full-bodied cigars.
Dude, that triple Maduro you guys do is great. I haven't had one of those in forever.
The CBT. If I can find you one, I'll send it.
Yeah, those are fucking dope.
But yeah, I mean, that's really the difference. Christian and his father are partners on the Corojo farm. Of course, that's the farm that we grow everything on. But their cigar making operations are separate.
Yeah, I can't wait to try your guys' Cameroon, because I know it's going to be totally different than the Aladino Cameroon.
Yeah, no, it's the fuller body cigar. In fact, how do I swap this bad boy? my Gentili humidor. That's from Italy. We did the humidors at one point.
Nice.
So this, I don't know if you can see it, but this, we have we like using ribbons and stuff. So
Yeah.
So here it is. Yeah, our wrappers are a little darker, but I mean it comes from Don Julio's farm. But no, man.
Podcast listeners, we're looking at a box.
Yeah, don't mind the hair gel, Tide, and all that. Yeah, this is the box.
Spermicidal lube.
What?
Actually, that's in the other room. But no,
Thanks,
this is the CLE signature right here. We make it in 4 sizes. There's a Robusto with the 50 by 5, a 54 by 6, the 1118, which is technically 46 by 54 by 6. If you're curious,
It's Christian's mom's birthday.
yes, there's no. People think like it's like some Illuminati code or Ouija board. No, it's just Christian's mother's birthday. And then we make a 60 by 6. By the way, the TAA is the 1118, which is going to be for a calendar year. But no, these cigars are lit, man. I mean, they're all lit when you catch them on fire. But no, I mean, the cigars are great, man. Because you think about it, like we make a lot of we're known for Corojo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now we're making stuff with Cameroon, and people are like really excited.
Nice.
It's different, and it's Cameroon from Hamastron. By the way, Raul designed this box. But
Nice.
yeah, the Cameroon wrappers from Hamastron, they're thicker. Yeah, that's my humidor.
Dope.
They're thicker, and I mean you can box press them. So you'll see that the Aroa TAA. The Aroa PCA is actually box pressed. It's actually box pressable because the stuff from Honduras, the Cameroon wrappers are thick. You can press them. But no, that's it, man. It's but send me your address, man. And
I got you.
Send me your addresses.
And send me your I'll get your number too. I'll send you my number.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Tyler,
send
thank
him
you so
send
much.
him one of those car fresheners.
Yeah, I'll send you a car. I'll send you some stuff that I got. I know you
Sick.
I got some stuff down here that you might like. So
Yeah, man. No,
I'll send you a craft 2021.
Ooh, I'll take it.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Fun.
Look forward to talking to you again, man. Thank you so much.
Guys, thank you. And if you, send me your addresses and I'll send you some.
I appreciate it,
Rock
man.
and roll. Keep
All
those
right.
See you guys.
cigars on
See ya.
ice.
Thanks, Tyler.
Hey, buds. Bye.
Yeah.